I will be buying more of Fidelity's FBitcoin ETF when this price occurs. We're going to go over where I think that the ETF is going in this video, but so far I've been really happy with my position in the Fidelity FBitcoin ETF. I started accumulating somewhere around like February or March of this year. I've been in the position for probably close to 5 or 6 months now, and overall I've seen pretty decent returns. On the way that the Fidelity FBitcoin rose in price, I was buying up the ladder the whole time. At one point, I was about 30% up on my investment. So, I took like $4,000 and I have about a couple grand in there, but I was about 30% up. I was buying my way up, and then with this recent dip, I'm about break even on my investment. So with my average buy price being about $49 and today's FBitcoin ETF price being about $50, this has raised my interest. And if FBitcoin dips below my price, which I think it could, below my buy price of 49, I will be loading up the boat and probably trying to double down on my position. I want to talk about what those prices are, why I think that can happen, and kind of what I'm thinking about through this process. Maybe it'll help you in your FBitcoin position. In order to get an accurate representation of where Fidelity's FBitcoin is going, we should probably take a look at the Bitcoin to USD chart. When we look at this chart, we get a lot of insights with a lot of data points that the Fidelity FBitcoin chart does not have. Recently, like the past 2 weeks, the past week, Bitcoin has been very volatile. Right now it's at 58,000, but it wasn't at 58,000 like last week or 2 weeks ago. It was in the low 50,000s, 52, 51, $50,000 range. And I do think it's helped to shake out a lot of people. It's gotten a lot of fear built in people. And I think that it's a common healthy break downwards while we're in the upper bull market trend. So I want to show you on this Bitcoin chart what I'm looking at. Everything I do in this video is with a free TradingView account, so I don't pay for TradingView. You can do the same things. Also, if you want to learn more about this strategy that I do, it's called long-term swing trading, and I think it's a better way to go about investing in the crypto space than meme coins or day trading or putting all this emotion and effort into things every day. That doesn't really provide the return most people want. So in the description, I have my course, 1 Hour Trader, and it'll basically be a lot of what I'm showing you here today with more expanded detail. But in this chart, right now, I think what we're having here is a healthy Bitcoin pullback. Every bull market, Bitcoin will pull back between 20 and 30%. And I think at the beginning of this bull market, we haven't really seen, this is a monthly chart, we haven't really seen a red month up until what we're having right here, this healthy pull back. The reason that I think Fidelity's FBitcoin could go lower than it currently is, what I'm targeting is probably around the $45 level. The reason that I think that could happen is I think Bitcoin has a healthy retracement still here that it can still do. I base this off of a few things. The first thing is that our moving averages for Bitcoin, this is a moving average ribbon, and it has the 20-month simple moving average right here, the 50-month, and then the 100-month simple moving average here on display. And I think that the gap between Bitcoin and its moving averages shows us signs that we can have a healthy retracement. I put this circle here. I think that this $51,000 level is actually a pretty healthy target. I don't know if Bitcoin will get all the way down there. This could take a few months for Bitcoin to kind of move sideways, but I think there's room to the downside. Not in a bad way, just a part of the overall bull market. Now, what I would like to see is we have 18 more days left in this month. If Bitcoin pulls back up in this month and maintains this candle above this $59,500 level, that will be a sign that this is the box you want to trade Bitcoin in. And there's no reason for it to go below it just yet. But if this candle does close the month, close July with halfway being underneath, then we could most likely see a continued downtrend in August for Bitcoin. This is not a bad thing. It's still in a bullish trend. It's still a good thing for the Bitcoin ETFs, still a good thing for Bitcoin. We're still in a bull market, but it would kind of highlight the end of that summer lull if we did close August down here in this range between the 382 Fibonacci and the 236. Okay, that's still a healthy range for Bitcoin. It shows it here on the Fibonacci. It shows it with the moving averages. And if you look at some of the other indicators that we have, like our RSI and our MACD, they will show the same things. MACD right here is still in a healthy trend, even though, we're moving into the light green a little bit. The biggest thing that you want to see is that the blue line stays above the orange line. So as long as this blue line can retrace down to the orange line and not break below it, we're still in a positive uptrend. Right now, this green right here, the light green, is a cooling off phase for Bitcoin. And we saw the same thing last cycle. Right here, one of these, this is May 2020 right here. This was last cycle's Bitcoin halving. This is last cycle's Bitcoin top in 2021. but the halving was right here. You can see down here on our MACD, if we zoom in a little bit, that this right here is kind of what we're going through. These 3 bars right here, Bitcoin had a run up and then cooled off for a little bit while the MACD and kind of the blue lines and the orange lines came back together. I think that is exactly what's happening right here. I don't think anything's wrong with Bitcoin as an asset. I think it's just a short cooling off period, which is healthy in a broader bull market. This right here is now the Fidelity FBTC weekly chart. And after looking at the Bitcoin chart, we see that there is room to the downside. The same thing is true here on the Fidelity Bitcoin ETF, the FBTC ETF. And really what we're doing here is we're zooming way out on the chart, drawing some support lines that we have here in yellow based on previous price and what's been going on. And you can see that we are currently bouncing off of this upper support. It's now become resistance, and we have room to the downside. What I love about this Fidelity FBTC chart is that there's not that much room to the downside. There's not been a lot of trading action for the Bitcoin ETFs. They've only been around for 5-ish months and stuff. But when we're on this kind of downtrend with Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin downtrend is still in a healthy perspective because we have the whole Bitcoin bull market to go still. I put that context still here with the Fidelity FBTC ETF. This has a full bull market ahead of it. There's no reason to get into a panic mode. The trends are upward. The crypto historical 4-year cycle is upward. Everything is upward. So that's the lens we have to take when looking at this. But right here, we can see we are cooling off a little bit. We have some support that has turned to resistance here. And so what could possibly happen is we could move down from where we are right now at about a $50 FBTC price down to the next level of support, about $45. The reason I drew this line here is because we had this brief 3-week stutter step of price that has shown kind of this line, like this candle right here shows no level of resistance and support. So our only support here on Bitcoin on the ETF is right here around this $45 level. I think you could see over the next couple weeks, maybe in a week or two, the FBTC price dropped down to $45 because of this. And then, based on what Bitcoin's doing, I honestly would not expect it to drop lower than this. But I think this would be the ultimate kind of capitulation of this 20 to 30% dip that we are seeing on Bitcoin. We can do some further analysis here with our Fibonacci's and see what's going on here. But when you do this swing low to swing high, you kind of see the same thing. The 618 here is right at around $45.50, right where our support line is. This would be a healthy level of a sort of pullback. The question is, does the Fidelity FBTC break below this 50, the 0.5 Fibonacci at about $50? It's hard to tell in the short term. It's hard to tell what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis. But when you look at just this chart, you don't get the full picture. When you look at the Bitcoin chart as well, showing that the moving averages have room to the downside, I think you could postulate that this would have room to the downside. It's always good if it doesn't go to the downside. That means we have more appreciation on our already invested money. But if I were you investing into the FBTC ETF and wanted to buy more, I would either be putting in a buy order here at this support at around $50 on the Bitcoin ETF, basically today's market price, or I would be eyeing $45 here for the FBTC price if Bitcoin keeps retracing a little bit. I know it's bounced back to about 58,000 right now, but I think a healthy Bitcoin move still has about, it could get down to around $50,000 to $52,000. If that happened, and the ETFs dropped a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised to see $45 in the cards. With all that being said, I think right now is a great time to buy Bitcoin if you're interested, or if you think that Bitcoin can go down a little bit, I think it'd be very, very healthy to wait it out a week or two. Within a week or two, we should kind of be able to tell what's going on with Bitcoin. Is it going to go back above 60,000? Is it going to kind of hover down into the lower 50,000s range for the last little bit of that summer accumulation zone? If it did, I think FBTC would be a great buy at around $45. What you could do right now is start DCAing and say, hey, I'm going to DCA for the next month. And if it goes, from $50 to $45, I've basically made a good little buy the dip investment. And if not, I've bought a bunch at $50 when it's going to rocket back up to, $60, $70, $80 in the Bitcoin bull market. The other thing you could do is do a price target strategy. So you could buy, or you could set an order for, $1,000 today at $50, $1,000 at $49, $1,000 at $47, and $1,000 at $45. I don't know how much money you have to invest, but however much money you have to invest or want to invest into the FBTC ETF, you could just ladder down and put a buy price at $45, a buy price at $47, and a buy price at like $49 or $50. This ensures you get Bitcoin at every price level, and if if it dips, you have the opportunity to buy instantly when you're not at your brokerage or anything like that. So you will get Bitcoin at a good price. What I plan to do is I plan to kind of see what Bitcoin does this week, next week maybe even. I look at the weekly charts, so the charts go a little bit slower, which I'm okay with. I practice patience and conviction, so it's one of the better ways to trade in my opinion. But I am waiting for FBitcoin to hit around, to really break below that $49, $48 level and get to 47, 46, 45. I've got a few extra dollars I want to invest and kind of double my position in the Bitcoin ETF, and I want to do it below $50. Right now, hovering at $50, right with my buy price, my average buy price. I don't really want to buy a ton more. I would be okay buying a ton more if Bitcoin held this level for about 2 or 3 weeks, and as shown, it's not really going to break below $50 on the FBitcoin chart. But if it was to, I do think in the next couple weeks we could see Bitcoin or the FBitcoin ETF break lower, and if that happens, I want to buy at about $45, $46, or $47. I want to lower my average buy price and kind of double my investment at those prices, so that when Bitcoin goes up in the later half of this year, I have enough money to kind of use this as a good saving investment for myself. I'm still planning to sell my whole position of the ETF on the kind of mid-year 2025, whenever the bull market's kind of peaking out for Bitcoin. But that's my strategy right now with the FBitcoin ETF. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next one.